AD, also known as Tiptoechick. This is Picasso Llama, or better known as Brian. And I just wanted to make a video response to your comments or your emotions, anger, what have you, about exterminating white people is the solution to the black community's problems. I was blown away by this video as well, and although I don't I guess get overly angry about something, I totally understand everybody out there is really upset about this, and they should be. I mean, it's something that is not looked on as being a benefit to the human race as a whole. We're all different colors, and I mean, it's ridiculous to think that we can exterminate people of color. I mean, it's impossible. And I don't know if the gentleman was just talking about the United States. We know that it was about Katrina, and I don't know the failures of Katrina or what we're going to do to rebuild the New Orleans area or what. I don't really know what the context of his comments were, but it was very ridiculous with what he was saying. I guess I can only see for myself and my own feelings that this is just one confused human being who said something that many other people, the majority of other people, don't believe. And I don't care what color you are, that you do not believe that exterminating another race or color, we're all the human race, or exterminating another color is going to solve problems. If anything, it's going to create a tremendous amount of new problems. It's not going to solve problems. And everyone is entitled to their own opinion. And this man is entitled to his own opinion. Sure, he can say what he wishes, but the consequences of that have to be that he is censored, that he is not put into the mainstream and said this is the way people should behave. And hopefully his opinion is isolated, that not a majority of a population feels that way. There was one part of the video that disturbed me the most, and that was people applauded his comments. That was scary. That means that there are people out there who, or at least people that were in that audience, accepted his comments. You know, when you give applause, that means I accept what you said. That was scary, that people actually did that. And it says if one black man can say we need to exterminate the white people, what's to stop a white person from saying, well, if we exterminate the black people, then we'll solve the problem as well? Or the yellow people exterminating the red people, or the red people exterminating the white people, or the yellow people exterminating the black people. I mean, or, you know, it's nuts that something like this would even be said. And every day in the classroom, I attempt to instill in the minds of my students that tolerance, acceptance of another, that there are great benefits to that, that the human race can meet a great potential if we can achieve bringing ourselves together. And I do that continually, every day. You know, I know what the greatest separation of human beings is, and it's not color, it's not culture, it's not your ethnic background, it's man and woman. There are differences there, and believe me, those are probably the biggest problems I deal with in the classroom. I think that this gentleman is not thinking about a hero to the black community, and that was Dr. Martin Luther King, who was opposed to injustice, racism, prejudice, those things that were happening. And I understand those things were happening. And I understand that we have evolved into not believing that that is the way that we are going to reach our potential as human beings. And I talk to them continually about that one thing that connects us all. And that one thing that connects us all is that we are all creative. We all have the power to create. We all have the power to think of new things, to think of how to make the experience of life better. And talking about intolerance of another people just blows in the face of that. And that is probably what angered me the most about that video. I do want to mention that I agree with your point about the mainstream media. This should be all over the mainstream media, and I don't understand why not. It reminds me of the UCLA taser thing that's going all over YouTube. Thank God for YouTube, or we may not know some of these things. But the mainstream media has not picked those up. And these are things that should really be out there and should be really talked about in the social environment. The social dialogue should be about these things. That some people are out there spouting hate, and hate is not the way that we're going to solve problems. It's not the way to solve a problem. You know, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the climate that we live in. Maybe it's the you're on our side or you're against us. And if you're against us, well, I guess we have to kill you. That seems to be kind of the sentiment of the current government in this country. And I know it's been kind of the sentiment in other countries, not just this one. I'm kind of amazed that this one has that attitude. I mean, I'm more for dialogue, talking to people, sharing ideas, sharing what solutions we have to the problems, instead of killing each other. Maybe that's it. Maybe that the whole climate of the world is that's it. Maybe we're at a point that we have to find that way, that creative way to solve the problem. And exterminating another race, another color of people, is not a very creative way of solving the problem. It's been tried before and failed. And this asleep person, this confused human being that spouted these words of exterminating a color of people, is looking at the human experiment in a very old way. And we just have to know that people, humans, can evolve to a more understanding, tolerant, forgiving, compassionate, all of those things that go with love, not hate. And once we understand that, once we understand the power of loving one another instead of the destructiveness of hating one another, perhaps, a light will go off in the human consciousness, and we can solve problems. And we can solve problems together. Hopefully. We can only hope. And my message to you would be to, keep the hope alive. Don't let one person, cause you to have hate or anger towards him or towards other people. He needs help. And, hopefully he'll get it. So, just wanted to say I appreciated your comments. Take care.